Elon Musk wants to buy out Twitter.
To tweet or not to tweet?
So he'll have Tesla and that was good, by the way.
Thank you. I thought we were going to smooth over that one. That is the question.
It is the question. So he wants to own Tesla, which he does, and he wants to own Twitter.
He wants to own all of Twitter because Elon can't play well with others, apparently.
Well, this is so interesting, and we're going to get into all the details for you, but before we do that, we need you to do a few things, like subscribing to this channel, tapping that notification bell, smashing that like button, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. The details are in the description below. So it really comes at an interesting time, because it was just recently that he announced that he was becoming a minority shareholder, right? He bought how much worth of the company?
It's like 9%.
About 9%, which is a substantial amount.
That's
like
huge.
Only 1/10 of Twitter, which is a global powerhouse for information.
But you'd think 9% would be enough.
Well,
it would be enough for me.
It
would be enough for me.
But now he wants to buy out the entire thing.
Yes.
So let me tell you this. He came out and he said that he's willing to offer $54.20 US per share, which would equate to about $43 billion US.
Imagine spending $43 billion rather, because you can't share.
So the question is, why? Why does he want to do this?
That is a good question.
And he's been very vocal using Twitter for various things in the past.
Yeah. He's had like a couple of different ideas on things he was going to do. Like he had said that he was going to introduce an edit button, which some people were crazy about.
And I think that's not a bad idea.
Some people not so much.
And why would people be upset by that?
Because a lot of what I've been hearing, and I don't disagree, is that, you get some of these tweets that go absolutely viral and they're getting shared like thousands and thousands of times. Now imagine that tweet goes viral and somebody goes on to the tweet now that it's gone viral, been shared a ton, and changed the whole message.
Right, so it's like, and that can be both positive and negative, because something can go viral because somebody accidentally tweeted out something.
For sure.
But couldn't Twitter say like, this tweet has been changed, and then
like it's edited, like you get
like
an edited
like
kind
an
of thing?
Yeah,
for sure. I think that's definitely something they could do, but that's one of the things that he was saying he was going to do. Reportedly, he was also saying that he was going to turn their headquarters into a homeless shelter.
No, he's gone off the rails on Twitter. I mean, he has used tweets before to talk about what he wants to do with Tesla.
Yeah, and he got in some trouble for that too.
Well, because, in months prior, he was tweeting out different things, and it was making the stock very tumultuous. It was going up one day, down one day, and it was affecting just your average investor.
Because that volatility is not good for the market, right?
Not at all. And lawyers had to get involved. There was issues with the regulator who oversees
the SEC.
Stocks, right? Even Twitter, the company, had to get involved, and I think there was an agreement where
he had to pay fines. They had to agree that his tweets would be.
I think it was like $40 million in fines.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
What I do find interesting is that one of the reasons, that I believe why he wants to buy Twitter outright is because he believes, and I quote, that it should be a space for open dialogue where free speech should reign free. In fact, this is what he has said, and he's been quoted saying in the past. I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be the platform for free speech around the globe. And I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. He did go on to say, however, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve their societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. And what's interesting about that is when a company is taken private, they can do whatever they want without public scrutiny because there are no shareholders involved to be like, hey, push the brakes on that, like you're taking things too far. So what could that potentially mean? Could that potentially mean that people like Donald Trump can be unbanned from Twitter?
And that's my thought. This is why things like that make me nervous, because when you hear that free speech is being restricted on Twitter and people aren't allowed to post whatever they want, first of all, most people don't have, or most people who say that, I should say, don't have a full comprehension of what freedom of speech means. It does not mean freedom of speech without consequences.
Right, because once you get into that territory of hate speech, you can actually be charged.
Okay, so that's interesting, but another point is that so remember when he first bought, or it was announced that he had this 9% in stocks, and Twitter offered him a chair on the board, right? That came with the specification that he couldn't buy more than, I believe it was 14% in stocks.
Yeah, about 14.9.
Yeah. So.
And he wasn't comfortable with that.
And then he said, oh no, I'm not going to be on the board.
100%. It is really, really interesting where, if the board agrees to this buyout and Twitter goes into private hands and not being a public company, it opens the floodgates to a lot of what ifs, right? What ifs. We already know big tech has a lot of power around the world, and I'm talking big tech like Twitter, Meta and Facebook, YouTube and Google, TikTok now with its growing influence. Like, there is so much power concentrated in these tech companies, and they really dictate sometimes who gets promoted and what thought, mentalities get promoted and what we see and what we consume. Like, they are now the gatekeepers to information. And if there is no check and balances put in place, and you have one guy who's by one of the most powerful, tech companies out there, purveyor of information, which is what Twitter is, and he has his own ambitions for what this company should do, approve, allow what can be said, what cannot be said, we could definitely be lurking in some uncharted territory.
Twitter has now come out and they've acknowledged that they've received the statement, and they're saying that the board would carefully review the proposal to determine the course of action that it believes is in the best interest of the company and all Twitter stockholders. So no word yet on whether or not this is going to happen, but Twitter's definitely aware of what's going on.
Yeah, well, the thing is, shareholders have to decide, is this an offer they want to take? And if the majority of them say, yes, we like the price that he's put out, then this can easily happen. This is what happens in a capitalistic society, right?
100%.
Anyhow, we want to hear how you guys think about this, feel about this. What are you thinking about this? Are you shocked by this news? Do you want to see Twitter go private? Do you believe in Elon Musk's vision? Who knows? So let us know in the comment section. In the meantime, a reminder to subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, tap the notification bell.
And follow us across all of our social media. Those details are in the description below.
Thanks so much, Steph.
Always.
Hey, BG Squad, thanks so much for checking out our channel. And listen to this, we have more great content for you, like this video right here and this video right here. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now and tap that notification bell.